Welcome to another episode of the Prep Coach podcast. We are back. Now, the boys, you were away in SA over the weekend for the IFBB NPC Natural show.
We had a little date.
Yeah, you did have a little date. You went over there. I know you guys had a lot of success. Who wants to start? Who wants to tell us about it?
Man, we do love going to Adelaide. We're also fortunate because we've got some awesome athletes, friends. Like, there's a great community in Adelaide in bodybuilding. A lot of our athletes showed up. We got to spend a day with people that we don't get to see very often. So it was a pretty special day. Scotty had Wayne and he was freaky, man.
I saw some of the footage afterwards.
Yeah,
he looked awesome.
Well, yeah, you can talk about him, but I just had this one moment, and I was sitting with a couple of my athletes. I was with Rebecca, Jamie, and Giselle, who I coach as well. He'd done his comparisons, and he's getting harder and harder. And they're not long comparisons, right? Because it wasn't. I think it was 6 in that lineup. So it was turn, and by the second, right, he's just getting sharper and harder and harder. And then he turns around. He does that rotation, yeah. And I swear to God, his rear delt was like the biggest avocado that someone had just jammed in there, right? It was insane. And as he's walking, it was just like,
yeah, he just like
his taper was phenomenal.
His taper is crazy.
His abs are and his posing was
he's awesome,
marvelous.
Yeah,
like I could have watched his flow all day. I really love anyone if you're a men's physique athlete to be able to just use the right amount of fingers in transitions without overdoing it, and not being too bodybuilder-like as well. It's a really fine art.
Yeah,
you don't want to have them out all the time. It obviously comes from the top down, but has been able to nail just the right amounts at the right time, and his flow was excellent. And then when you couple that with a physique, I think Tony Doldy's words were, "Holy, like this guy is shredded." Tony said on the microphone because
welcome to Naturals, mate.
Wayne was spectacular. And then I had Rebecca.
Yep.
Who she's amazing, man. She's had a huge transformation, and we're doing season C.
Yep.
So this was always the sort of halfway show, just first opportunity to do IFBB SA, first show there. So awesome. It's an all-girl and you want to be part of that. So we did. She looked amazing. She did well. She got a bronze in her novice. She was the Masters competitor who won. So it's just a nice day, man.
Awesome. So is she going to do IFBB in season C? What's she doing in season C? What's her plan?
NBA SA, NBA Melbourne.
Okay, cool.
So,
awesome. Yeah,
and of course, that transition for her is because, and Scotty saw her in the flesh, she is on the more muscular side. So being too lean for that show wouldn't have really suited her. So that's why we were able to do it. It's like, your size will create your shape, but she'll be sports and fitness for NBA.
Awesome. So, you're talking about Wayne's posing. I saw in his routine, in his walk, he was doing a back double bicep. I think he did abs and thigh. Are they allowed to do that?
Yeah, so when you get your walkout, you can do whatever you want. You typically would usually just your half turn, you do a front, and then you do a transition, then you go to the rear, come back to the front. But given that it's a natural show, there's no real prerequisite for it. And so
did he have close fist? He did?
Yeah, he did.
Because I've seen him also do it.
We spoke about it, and I was like, your rear double shot's really, really good now.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that needed a lot of work, and we worked on it. And Pete Hartwig is working with Wayne for posing. Pete's unbelievable. He did all my posing for men's physique, and so all my men's physique guys now go to him. And the way we spoke about it, I was like, I think you're not going to be penalised for it. I think when you go out and you get that opportunity, and equally they'll have already seen you first because you come out first, do your half turns,
comparisons,
then you come back over. So for me, there's nothing to say that you can't do it. And he just hit one pose for it. I'm like, if you're going to hit it, make sure it's lights out. You need to nail it. And it's important that you then turn to the front with a traditional men's physique pose, hit an abs and thigh, and then his sign off. So it's something that we'll find out when we get feedback. Were they not okay with it? Were they not? I think at this sort of show, plus you'll have already been on there. They'll have already seen you. If anything, I don't have a problem with it. So we'll see.
I know they don't want you to hit them when you're doing your comparisons on your half turns.
You can't. So it's half turns, they're your poses. But in essence, this is an opportunity to show a little bit of creativity and
I mean, the crowd were nuts.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Not surprised.
That's bespoke to you, but we wanted to be really strategic with even the transitions. Like Wayne's really full through his chest, and when he hits that ninja pose to the side, is what I refer to it as.
Ninja pose. Oh,
As in his
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
it's like an anime.
He was samurai like.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
say.
And that's how I rev him up, as well as I'm like,
Yeah.
I gave him like a Michael Galanti.
Talk, yeah, I love it.
Everyone here's come to see Wayne Wong.
I love it.
Yeah, and he just says, I'm ready. Yeah,
He's awesome. He's
so,
awesome.
Yeah,
He's so good.
he was absolutely dynamite.
One of the greatest moments was Tony Dolly interviewing Wayne on the mic. It was I interviewed, right?
Yeah.
And that was a wonderful because Wayne was just
They were bouncing off each other so well.
Okay,
It was like
yeah.
it was
It
but
was
Wayne's
hilarious.
so funny.
He's so funny. Yeah.
he also like through the excitement he's took the mic and said, I want to stop and thank Scotty for flying out from Melbourne, everything he's done for me. And then what did he say to you in the message?
He said, if I can fly, he is my wings. Is that what he said?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, it's such a good piece of feedback. But yeah, he was dangerous, man. And so nice to I'm glad that I was at that show because like that's the first natural IFBB show in SA.
Yeah.
So we were there. We had athletes in that show. So
It was a nice thing.
What did you think of the venue? Like they got that out grass area, that big.
Yeah, well, I didn't really go there. We were in they had the tables out the front near, you know how there's the coffee.
There was a coffee van or something.
The coffee little pod where it
Yep.
wasn't there, but the tables were. So afterwards, because the athletes walk back up the stairs and then you walk out that door, so we were kind of just hovering around the tables there and having a chat. Wayne had all of his entourage with him, so we were just talking to them. But the grass area, there were people over there doing some posing.
yeah, we pumped up. We pumped up on it.
Yeah, it looked pretty nice. The sun was out.
Beautiful.
The venue inside is actually, I quite like it. It's good. The other thing is just trying to find. We were sort of saying when you're going up, if you didn't really know where to go,
yeah.
it's a big campus.
Yes.
The university looks amazing.
Yeah.
And there was no signage show this way or
Yeah,
anything.
correct,
That's
yeah.
like
Yeah, so if you have to turn up and go around. If you didn't turn up and go around, you go straight. My guess is you'd be doing a big loop, kind of like the octagon in
Yes.
WA. You know how it took us like,
man, I've been lost there before.
Yeah, if you don't
we've been
know.
lost many a time.
This was worse to be honest. Like
Yeah, Jamie knew where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
The venue's good. It's a theatre, which is great. It's what we use theatres.
yeah,
I think the stage is a little bit small though.
yeah. I think if you had a big lineup,
It'd
it
be
would
hard.
get pretty squishy.
Yeah. And
Yes.
also too is, we look at lighting, that they have just the lighting in the roof. There's no like proper theatre lighting
I
like
don't
what
know
we
how
use.
Charles would go with that.
Yeah, Charles probably wouldn't like it.
So I don't know. So you saw Jess, the winner of bikini.
Mhm.
So she was lethal. So do you remember? I was like, oh, Jess has competed. We've been there before. So do you know where Jess? She was phenomenal, by the way. She was incredible for me. Do you know where Jess competed?
No.
She was in the same lineup as Everin, Fran,
Oh.
all of our when
and
fitness
yeah,
pros.
yeah, she was in that fitness pro
Was
lineup.
she really?
Yeah, I found the photo this morning.
Oh wow.
Wow.
So that's where I was like, yeah, I've seen her compete before. She was in that lineup
Okay. Interesting.
She doesn't look fitness. She looks bikini through.
because she was in that. You had Sarah in that, and
Rom?
yeah, and
Kim.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
That
she was in
elite-
that lineup.
Yeah, that was elite lineup. Yeah, wow.
I found the back shot of all of them this morning. And it was
Yeah,
like,
wow.
Well, she looks. She was dynamite.
Yeah, she was-
bikini. Like I said to him, man, she's going to be in the conversation of the one to beat. She just was so balanced, had everything.
yeah,
shape.
and I, for me, I said I'm happy because they rewarded. She was conditioned.
Mhm.
I was like, that's good because
Right,
that's
waist sharp.
Okay.
that's kind of how, like, I've prepped people to
Yeah, of
be.
course.
Like, if you look at Chloe's
Yeah.
example, like that's the sort of look. So it's nice that that's how it went. How it should have gone.
Yeah, cool.
I thought the places were
Yeah.
really good.
So then this weekend we got
Mm.
the Vic show,
Yeah,
IFBB Natural Vic show. You've got
Chloe and
two.
Tristo. Yeah,
Yes.
it's awesome.
I've got two, and you've
I've
got
abs with.
you got abs with Young. It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be really good.
That's going to be
I
great.
know,
to
I'm
see food at abs.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. It's gonna be good. So then, okay, cool. Because normally you have to go to
Bring
shows.
everyone in. They're flying over here Friday. They're coming in to do the GT session on.
Oh yeah.
On Friday.
Oh
so-
cool. Okay, awesome. I know. Normally you would have to go to the show early because you have guys and they're always on in the morning. So now you can sleep in and you can.
Yeah, well, I was saying to MG, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go purely because it's my mum's birthday, so I got
Oh,
to
is it?
get
Okay.
a lunch, but we'll see how we go.
So we can look after abs.
Yeah, if you need anything, just let us know.
Yeah, she'll be fine.
Should be fine.
Maybe me and Bjorn will go get another tattoo while we're out.
Yeah, I'm excited for both of them because he's really excited too.
Yeah, of course he is,
Putting
yeah.
a lot of work, and
Yeah.
she looks incredible, and also I think it's going to be the creme de la creme. You've got all of your girls look lethal. MG's got his
Yeah.
girls. It's going to be
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome.
I
Yeah,
know.
can't wait.
I actually saw one of your girls on your social. It was in black and white. I couldn't tell, but she looked She looked,
Caitlin?
I think so. Her
Yeah, yeah,
shape,
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah,
I want to
she
see
looks
this girl
good.
up close.
Yeah, yeah.
Shape looked good, conditioning
Yeah.
looked good. Posed by
Tash.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
She
Yeah.
practices so much though. She's just,
Yeah,
she's,
she from what I can tell, based on that, clearly,
yeah,
like,
her
"Ah, she looks
posing
good."
is incredible. Yeah,
Mm.
absolutely incredible.
So we'll see some people on Sunday.
Yes, we'll see you on Sunday. All right, you want to get through some
We've got
questions?
heaps of questions this week.
All right, let me just start from the top. Thoughts on theanine supplementation? I know you spoke about it in your stack that you were doing.
My creatine, theanine, methylfolate stack.
Yeah, do you want to talk about it, or do you want to get?
Folic acid, huh?
Yeah,
Do you want to talk about like?
So that one it's a B12 methylfolate with 300
B9.
No, 12.
Okay.
I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
It's a I can't remember what the brand name is, but it's a 300 theanine daily dose, which is like I think the normal's 200.
Mhm.
I think the top end research dose is like 400.
For L-theanine.
Yeah.
Yeah, 400 a day, but you like
you split it in two and two.
I split it in two,
Sure.
caffeine and then
Yep.
L-cysteine in the evening.
So I think the biggest thing is like for me, and I've spoken about it before, and what Scotty just said is something definitely worth touching on. Because the one thing that I have changed is the way that I split it now, is that I do half of it with my caffeine dose, my morning caffeine dose, or my pre-workout, and I do the other one just before bed now, because it actually, on its own, I find it actually helps me sleep better.
Yeah, well, it promotes alpha brainwave activity.
Okay.
So I was worried at the start that it would, you know, I don't want to be like cognitively ready to take on the world just before I get in bed, but it's actually
No, it heightens being in a parasympathetic state.
it's been great. So, but with caffeine, it's also still does what I thought it was going to do.
Yeah. Okay.
To the point where you guys know that I'm obviously medicated for ADHD. I'm taking the least that I've ever taken.
That's awesome.
Is that why you take the methylfolate as well? Because I remember
that's
reading somewhere that helps with.
That's exactly why I take it.
Yeah, it helps with the medication that you're taking.
Definitely.
Okay, cool.
And that's why the one thing that for me has been like a game changer over the last. It's hard because I've had a newborn in there as well, but I don't have the sort of up down energy anymore. I'm just very consistent. I go to bed a lot better now, and any amount of reduction in stimulus that you're able to take from me is a big win. But like I've substantial, like I'm talking about probably half of what I was having before.
Oh, really? That's a big change. So, do you want to just go through quickly what it is, like the technicalities?
Yeah. So,
why we use it?
L-theanine, I am a big advocate of that, but also combining it with L-cysteine. I think it's one of those things where, for me, I would usually encourage it, splitting it up into two. They usually come in 200 milligram tablets. So running it in the morning with caffeine. And all the research on this space, everyone thinks you need to have a crazy amount of caffeine, but all of the studies that have looked at cognitive function, attention span, and just laser focus, the dosages of caffeine are like 30 to 40 megs of caffeine and hydrogen. So it's very, very small. So you don't necessarily need to have a lot of it. I have a first thing with just a caffeine drink that I have has like 80 megs of caffeine, and it takes maybe about half an hour to 45 minutes to start to get the effects to get into the blood. But having that first thing in the morning, you'll notice a difference. You just feel razor sharp and you feel really good. And then in the evening, you can have it on its own. I pair it with L-cysteine, which is also beneficial. So L-theanine, as we were just saying, is great for promoting alpha brainwave activity and just relaxing you, getting you into that parasympathetic state. But it can also be good from an immunological standpoint. There's research around it promoting almost like awareness of T cell activity, and basically when L-theanine, my understanding of it, as it gets broken down, I think it gets broken down into something. I think it's a methyl or ethyl methylene or something like that. Either way, it gets broken down into that, and then that kind of acts as like a reactant to recruit an increase in T cell function, natural killer cell function, and basically all of your lymphocytes, white blood cells, so that if you were to ingest a pathogen, the reaction or response time is a bit quicker. And then pairing it with L-cysteine. So L-cysteine is almost like the master antioxidant. It's probably the master amino acid for glutathione production.
Okay.
Glutathione's made up of cysteine, glutamate, and glycine, and so it's the rate limiting amino acid for that. And so glutathione acts as that master antioxidant. There's a lot of research that shows that with that supplementation, decrease in upper respiratory tract infections, and anyone that's training really, really hard and you get a lot of oxidative stress or are exposed to just any real sort of training stress, it can really assist in promoting some of those immunological benefits. So that's Harvey. So
we've got the great man in today.
We do. So pairing the two together really, really beneficial. All the research on the immunity side of things, and it's getting more and more stronger. Like a little while ago, I probably didn't really think there was much in it, but the more studies that are coming out, and most of them are done in Japan, are promoting that these two taken together are really, really beneficial from an immunity standpoint. So if you're supplementing, take the 200 megs of L-theanine in the morning with caffeine, and then 200 milligrams in the evening, and then with L-cysteine. Most of the dosages in the studies when they're looking at immunity are around 7, I think it's like 7 or 780. So the tablets usually come in 500 milligram or 1,000 meg form. I just take 2 of them with one of my L-theanine at night.
Okay.
And yeah.
I was going to ask you what size they come in, but you answered that. And where do you normally buy them?
So with all those, same with like if you're going to get Ashwa or any of your vitamins, it's just easy to get it through iHerb. That's where I get all of mine through. So I think if you're talking about now that we're in winter coming into trying to improve immunity, when I speak about it now, main one's vitamin D3, 5,000 IU of that a day, taking I've had a complete mind blank.
You can say that with K2 or?
No. Taking a probiotic.
Probiotic, yeah.
I can see the packet, a probiotic that has at least 10 billion CFU, beneficial. And then obviously you've got fish oils, but then I would also say that the L-theanine and L-cysteine are probably in that top conversation now in terms of, again, you can't enhance immunity, but you can prevent deficiency. And especially in athletic populations, this research seems to be really sound that if you are taking that, and even actually on the topic of L-theanine and L-cysteine together, I saw a little while ago, there was a study on post having the flu shot or the COVID vaccine shot. Now, some people get sick initially from that. The decline from that as a result of taking the supplementation is meant to be out of control. So
okay, cool.
The other thing, if you look at a lot of pre's now, which was never a case in the past, some of them will have like neurofactor mix or anything like with the word neuro in it. And if you look in that, you know, they're broken into sections. If you look in some of those neuro compartments, you'll notice some of these have got 50 to 100 milligrams of theanine in them, like Alta does.
Okay, there you go.
So they're now starting to become, you know, a norm in some pre-workouts, and that's that nootropic category.
Yeah, a lot of those nootropic drinks.
Drinks, yeah.
Yeah, I said drinks. Drinks, they contain
Have it in there.
theanine. Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Good bang for your buck.
Doing a deficit, then reversing out before starting a prep. Thoughts on this? To me, that's
then what? Reversing
out before you start a prep. That's a pre-prep for me.
But yeah, I mean, that depends on how far before, how long is the deficit for. I mean, Scott's spoken at length about pre-preps, and we've all backed it to the tooth and used it for years and years now. Well-structured pre-prep has literally been the difference for me over the last 5 years of like athletes getting perfectly in condition versus not. But without a lot of details. I mean,
what was the rule of thumb? We roughly said it was
8 to
whatever the pre-prep was, you leave 1.5 weeks between
1.5 to 2 times that
between that and the prep. The end of that and the start
to reverse gain and then just hold territory at least maintenance, if not slight positive energy availability.
And you're not gaining all your weight back to what it was.
No, so you're essentially re-topping up, and
you should be closing the magnitude of the deficit. You shouldn't really see a lot of metabolic compensation. If it's 8 to 10 weeks, you're getting to a stage where you're happy with the look, and then you're closing that gap and going back up to maintenance. So maintenance should still be roughly where it was.
Yeah.
Again,
but the weight gain, well, there should be
so let's say gain at all. Say that just say for easy math, you've got an athlete, they're going to be on stage at 84 kilos and they start at 100 in their pre-preps. They're going to lose 16 kilos. Let's say that from their pre-prep phase, they pull down to 91 kilos, right? So they've pulled off 9 kilos, they're 7 kilos off stage weight. Over that period of, if there's 8 or 12 or whatever weeks between
the gain phase, we're going to call it,
you know, you'd probably expect to see maybe a 2 kilogram increase, 2.5 maybe, because firstly, you're going to see an increase in glycogen saturation as a result of assuming you're running lower carbohydrate. And then you're going to see, as a result, more fluid and then more food volume going in. And you'll see a little bit of fat gain as well. But the idea is that you're reducing that massive chunk, that magnitude of fat loss that's required. So if you then start your prep at 93 versus 100 and you're in a really, really good spot, you've got 9 kilos instead of 16 that you got to lose.
Yep.
And I think we said like the sweet spot for the length of that would be like we want to get in and get out as quick as we can. But it's typically, I mean, sometimes like you've had 3 weekers, like get in and get out in 3 weeks. For some male component to some male athletes who can pull off a lot really quickly, but as an average, it's like 4 to 7, depending on the
how much they're
on
gonna
the
lose.
athlete
Yeah,
and
no,
where
the
their
athlete,
starting
yeah.
position is.
Yeah, you'd be surprised what you can put,
Yeah.
especially with guys. If food's in a good spot and you've got an athlete that's compliant, you should be able to be in a position where you can push hard and take early while you can, where there's very, very minimal recoil, and push the ledger. I always do, and
You've seen 5 kilos in 3 weeks over and over again. That's
like,
not
I
uncommon.
can give an example. There's a classic physique guy that I've started working with very, very late. He has moved across, and he started, I think, mid 89s, and we hit lows of, I think he's maybe mid to high 79, 79.5 within 6 weeks.
10 kg.
In 6 weeks.
Wowzers.
Yep. And
How much came off his
we're
jawline?
9 weeks out, and now
Crazy,
he's
crazy.
he looks dynamite. But
Dynamite.
also, we've been
Wicked.
towing the line,
Wicked.
and we had to put a diet break in place, and I said to him, this is normally against the grain, but just so you know, this is what it's going to take. We're going to have to be assertive because you need to be. And then when we get to this point, we hit this checkpoint, which we actually hit it a week earlier.
Mhm.
So now we can top up. We've just started to see some turbulence with sleep, some turbulence with training, perceived energy availability. So I'm like, perfect. You know, we were able to get through very unscathed. So now giving back, he's got, 4 days of more food going up. And then from there, it's no longer, he hasn't been following a linear model for the last couple of weeks, but it'll be more like 3 or 4 up and then, 3 or 4 down.
Yeah,
And so you have
And then you're looking at that sort of stuff. That's outrageous.
What's that?
You're looking at their sleep and their training performance. That's outrageous.
Yeah, man.
You're handing your duties as a coach.
How do you feel about coaches who've never stepped on stage themselves, programming preps and being a prep coach? Coaches that never competed
I
before.
think I can think of someone who has.
I know maybe 1 or 2 coaches that have never
Oh, I got one.
competed.
My wife.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if that's an example, depends. She's been around it a lot. She's got a husband who lives and breathes it and has a degree in nutritional medicine. So,
Yeah.
So it depends. I mean, credentials probably a big thing, but it's really hard to understand the suck if you've never been in the suck. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely an element to that of like,
I guess the question would be is, does it make you a better coach, or does it help you coach athletes if you've competed before?
yeah, I think yes, it
I
helps
think-
you.
Yes, I think
I don't think that
100%.
I don't think that it's, it means you can't do it if you haven't, because people have proven they can. But I think having been in the trenches yourself and understanding what it feels like to look 30 meters away to go grab something that has no relevance and think, how the fuck am I going to get over to that part of the room? Like, it's
there's a bit of a slope here. I've got to walk up this slope.
but also like sleep disruption. Also for me, like knowing what it feels like when your libido is just in the toilet, and like how to coach somebody who's got a partner who doesn't get that. And like, there's certain examples of stuff that, probably aren't in any textbooks that you can provide better support, even in that post-show period when it comes to nutrition. When you've been there and know what that feels like to be hyper food focused or have friends maybe not encouraging you to do the best things, there's no way that you're in the best position if you haven't experienced that yourself.
I think it helps. All those things you mentioned, but also I think when you've prepped before and been through it, you just pick up little tips and tricks. You're like, oh, I would never have figured that out if I hadn't been through this. So like, remember how I said I had to get my steps in for the day? So whenever I picked up my phone, I had to be walking.
Yeah.
Like I put in a little strategy for me to help me get my steps in.
Mhm.
So like I put that rule in place, or there was certain food choices that I made that like I would never have known to do that unless I was in this situation myself, which now I can pass on to my athletes. So
Yeah, even from a scheduling perspective, like how you're going to get certain stuff into your day when there's more to do.
Yeah.
And I think, especially when you work with parents and stuff and you see what people have to fit into a day, I think living and breath, like even me at the moment. So you remember I coached James, and James had a baby right in the,
yes.
and I can't remember which day it was, but it was in the last couple of days. I made a meal, right? I've got the video of it. I made a meal. Aladie's crying. Talia just woke up, so put her on the potty. And then Aladie saw her. So I had Aladie. I made this meal. Talia goes quiet. I walk out, and I got the video walking up to Talia, and she's just hooving my bowl down, right? And I'm like,
In your food.
how did it's like in prep, you got like, how everything's just like you want it to be perfect. It's like, as a parent, there's things that come up that are hurdles. It's like having been through that, I would understand if somebody wrote, my kid ate my food and I was frustrated or angry. But if you haven't been that deep in prep to understand it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, totally. Anything on that, Scotty?
No, I think it's just anecdote and relatability.
Yep.
Yeah. I think you could do it like anything. You could coach someone if you've never prepped, but can you coach them as well as someone who's educated, has that background, but is also prepped? I think you're missing that element. Doesn't mean it can't be done, but the level at which you can do it, I think, is probably just different.
Yeah. How do you vet a coach if you're an athlete shopping around? How do you vet a coach? I guess these days everyone's looking at their social medias, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple parts to it. I think if you're just looking at athlete results are the first thing that come to mind, but just because somebody's getting athlete results doesn't necessarily mean that, that's the right path or protocol that you want to be on from a safety perspective. I think chatting to a coach face to face or like online, not just on a phone call, we've heard feedback of people chatting to someone who's, had incredible results, and they'll say some things to them in that Zoom or conversation that just, you go,
no,
is that the strategy? Like it's mind blowing. So I think, people probably vet coaches by going on social media pages, looking at their athletes, but like, what did that athlete do to get in that position? What were they like before that coach?
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes, looking at previous coaches as well, and, what was done to get to that point, and then somebody goes across to a different coach and, that coach has already got, high performing athletes. It doesn't necessarily tell you the full story, but sitting down and chatting to a coach, you sit with a coach for 30 minutes and have a conversation, you're probably going to know by the end of it whether, do they have answers to questions? Can they show you? This is a big one. This is what I do in every new consult. I show someone the systems, as in the apps, the check-ins. I let somebody watch somebody else's 15-minute check-in video. I show them what my peak week plan looks like. I show them what a nutrition system would look like. I show them everything that they're going to get. So it's not like I'm just telling you I'm going to coach you really well and I'm a great coach. I'm showing you what you're getting, because often what happens is, wow, that's a lot. So like the proof's in the pudding. I've got, the systems and structures are already there. If you chat to someone and they don't have that to give to you in an instance to explain how they're going to do things, or if there's questions that they're unable to answer, that's probably a red flag. Like we still see some things with coaches who have got great athletes who, like, some of the shit that athletes are getting are like emailed meal plans that are just like one line, like no check-in responses sometimes, like
thumbs up emojis.
But if you chat to that, if you just look on Instagram like, oh, they've got great athletes, I'm sure it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Like what are you actually getting for your money? That's what I'd want to know. That would be my assessment, is like, do I like them? Do I think I can gel with them? And what am I getting for my money?
Yep. Anything on that, Scotty?
I think you just need it. As you said, you've got to have a consult, because, I mean, for us, I know for me, if I'm having a consult, if someone inquires, they're not a guarantee to just come on.
Of course.
It's just, for me, it's, are we a good fit? These are the things, this is how I run things. These are my expectations as a coach. But equally, if I'm asking this of you, you're getting this from me. But these are the non-negotiables. And I think as long as there's that mutual respect and that dialogue, and also being transparent, I'm like, if you're someone that's a little bit aloof and you're not going to check in time, I'm not someone that's going to chase you up. If you miss your check-in more than once, then you need to go start looking for a new coach. Yeah. So I think as long as there is that, because it's, at the end of the day, they're paying you for a service. They need to know what they're getting out of you. But as the practitioner, you also need to know, well, what do you like as an athlete? Because not everyone's going to be the same, but you need to start to work out, how am I going to devise an intervention to take this person from where they are? Because not everyone is the same. So part of our role is, we have systems, but equally the job, once you've had that consult, is tailoring that so that it's bespoke to that type of athlete. Some people need to be revved up and they need to be hyped up all the time, and there's others that just need to be told what they need to do when they need to do it, and then they're just going to go away and execute.
The only thing I'll add to what you guys said is maybe talk to some of the athletes that are coached by that person.
100%.
But normally someone's already done that. Yeah, you coach my friend, or the guy in the gym, I know you coach him, and I've spoken to him before. So
I actually usually, at the end of a call, say, I'll usually have a response, yep, let's do it. But on the occasion, if they're like, oh, I'm just going to go away and have a think about it, no dramas, I'd say, if you want to reach out and have a chat to any of my athletes, I usually there'll be 10 or 12 of them, like, these are some of the girls, some of the guys.
Yeah.
Reach out to them. I'm not going to message them. Just say, hey, I had a consult with Scott. I just want to get some information, and then make your own decision.
All right, I think we'll leave it there. We've got time.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the questions. We've got heaps more, so we've got more.
Yeah, we've got some good ones for next week.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you in the next one.